How much patience should Man United fans have for the current situation?
That is the question.
Okay, intro to the video. Thanks for tuning in. Man United draw 1-1 to Southampton.
Ah, shit! No! That is not happening!
But what I want to get into is the context, the bigger picture. 3 games have happened now. The United team, they start off well. So you can see there's a plan, there's some kind of a glimmer of light in terms of the plan working. The first halves, they're getting it right. Not completely, but they're getting chances. But then and it's got to be down to the players. The performances go off the cliff. I don't think Ralph is reacting enough when the game in the second half goes off a cliff. I don't think some of his subs are effective. Elanga and Lingard came on today, but didn't really change the game. I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to go back to the start. So analysing Man United in segments. Started off the game well. Created, some half chances. Got Ronaldo involved a bit, but for me, what I saw that was glaring is that they're looking good on the counter-attack again. And this comes back to a point I've been making, is that this team is just the wrong style for Rangnick. Too much of a wrong style to even coach into what he wants to grow them into. The fact that they were a slow-moving counter-attacking team, to try and change them into an opposite style. It's not even a similar style that comes close to what they are. Because I'm thinking already, Glazers, what the hell were you doing? Why didn't you get in a similar counter-attacking coach? Because there's counter-attacking coaches out there, like Simeone, or should I say similar pragmatic coaches out there, like Simeone, that you could have tried to get in, and he's better than Ole. There's counter-attacking coaches better than Ole. Maybe you should have tried to get one of those guys in as interim, shore up the team, and then you try your proper rebuild in the summer where you get in your high-intensity coach. Because you're asking a guy to come in we can't forget, asking the guy to come in during the Christmas rush when COVID was ravaging fitness levels and the fixtures, getting everything cancelled. Ralph not getting any players that suit his style. And he's been asked to turn counter-attacking, slow-moving prima donnas into high-intensity ballers. I just can't get away from that bigger picture. But anyway, I was supposed to analyse Man United in segments, so I'm going to go back to the game. Started off well, looked good on some counter-attacks, and that's where the goal came from. Southampton pressing, they pressed well, but didn't press well on the occasion where Rashford got in behind. And I hope he keeps this game that simple. Just running behind, because Rashford's been having a bad time. Good ball from Bruno to Rashford, and then ball across to Sancho for a finish. That's where they look good. But these players can't play out 90 minutes, so it was a carbon copy of those previous 2 games. Came out again in the second half, can't keep to the plan. Ralph said in the press conferences before, we've heard it, these guys don't keep to the plan in the second half. He's told them, keep to the plan. Bruno, I can't believe it, okay? Apparently Ralph is saying the team plays number 8s.
We should just stick to the game plan and not all of a sudden lose shape, lose composure. All of a sudden we didn't have the same positioning on the pitch. Our 2 8s were too far outside and no longer in the center of the pitch. And this is what we spoke about yesterday and the day before yesterday when we analyzed the Burnley game. And this is what we have to do better. I mean, hopefully.
So how is a number 8 playing number 10, then number 7, then number 9, and then number 10 again, then a bit of number 8? It's like he's playing all different kinds of numbers. He's got his numbers all fucked up, man. It's no discipline from what I see. There's no discipline on Bruno, and that's where the manager has to catch some proper criticism there. I've said, okay, the team's not his style. That gives him a little bit of benefit of the doubt as to why this football is not working, but you've got to make some changes. Donny should still be there to rotate in for Bruno if he's not going to listen to discipline, if he's not going to listen to the plan. Because for me, Bruno is the big thing as to why United can't control that midfield. Pogba had a good game. The guy is coming back in, he's sourcing, dribbling, carrying the ball. Just gives the player the hand off. Get off. You're not coming to the ball. Pogba's great at holding up the ball, getting little passes, playing nice through balls, but he can't do that job of the double pivot when the number 10 in Bruno, because that's what he does. Bruno goes to number 10 when Ralph says he should be number 8. He goes to number 10 and vacates the midfield, making Pogba and McTominay have to worry about the channels, worry about the centre of the pitch. You're getting these players to do too many jobs, and then they get exposed. I mean, if you were to just do that as a proper game plan, then maybe the wingers should be tucking in so that Pogba and McTominay are not exposed. Ralph is a great coach. I'm sure he's seen this. I think these players just don't listen. I think Bruno doesn't listen. We've seen him do that solo press under Ole.
Fantastic.
It exposes the midfield. He runs by himself. Leaving massive gaps. Leaving big gaps. And okay, it's not all Bruno's fault, because McTominay, even when he tries to press himself or press in a team press, he's a bit clumsy. He doesn't really read the game well. Had some good moments, but ultimately, overall for a top team, not consistent enough. Maguire was doing the same thing, trying to press into midfield and getting the wrong side. He did it in the previous Burnley game, got the wrong side, gets exposed, and then it's a goal. But coming back to Bruno is a big problem doing the solo press by himself. Like just a headless press. For me, in the last 3 games, he's been one of the big culprits to turn the second half into a Western shootout. Turning it into fine margin footy, which he learned under Ole. Because Ole gave him the privilege to do what he wants, pretty much. Go everywhere like he's playing five-a-side football. And then, even when he's on the ball, this is the thing. He may have been able to get that privilege in my mind if he was actually technically sound on the ball. Bruno gives away too many times. The way he punts the ball without aiming it, it's not enough to be having a free roll if you just keep losing possession. I can't get around that. It's going to seem like I've got a Bruno agenda because I brought it up before, but we all know the midfield is there to control the game. The midfield's there to set up the foundations for popping it off to the forward to get the cherry on the cake. Then you want your defence to keep the cake on the table. I'm just trying to work analogies here. It's hard, but your engine room has to be efficient because there's most of the players there. And Bruno doing his headless chicken run is compromising midfield, because for that goal that Southampton got, props to them. They were putting in passing transitions faster than Man United, even though I think they may have had less possession. They were transitioning. That's a drilled team. If you want to see a drilled team, you watch Southampton. There's no surprise that they beat Tottenham in the previous game. They know what their manager wants. Ralph Hasenhüttl. Keep it simple. Transfer the ball A to B. But going back to the point, I've kind of forgot the point. Yeah, for the Southampton goal, I watched it because I've got my agenda against Bruno, but it's a logical agenda because he exposes the midfield. What I saw leading up to the goal is Bruno run. He pressed past Ronaldo, which really that's an incongruence in itself. Why is my midfielders pressing higher than my forwards? That doesn't make sense. He pressed higher than Ronaldo, leaving gaps in behind. Keeper plays it out, or whoever played it out from the Southampton defence played it out, and all I saw was Pogba and McTominay and gaps all around, holes in the pocket, holes everywhere. And like I've said, Southampton do good transitions of the ball, quick transition play straight through the midfield, and then through ball straight into Shea Adams and goal. Quick attack within a few seconds attack. So for me, Bruno has to be disciplined, and Ralph, if you're going to keep playing him, your heads should be on the chopping board, because this guy should not be playing if he's going to keep giving up or keep adding to the fact that the midfield is giving up. I mean, like I said, Bruno's not the only one to blame. McTominay makes mistakes. Pogba, even though he was sourcing, sometimes tries to do a little bit of extra trick which doesn't come off, holds the ball too long a little bit. But hey, they're humans. All the players are supposed to have some kind of downside to what they're doing. It's just that you want the big players to have more of the upside. That's what makes for a great team and great players. These guys are just not consistent enough. But anyway, that's a big waffle. That's a big waffle there. The main point that I'm talking about is Bruno and that midfield has to be drilled into what Ralph is talking about. Number 6 and 2 8s. Ralph, I'm just a guy in my room talking shit. You're the manager. You can see, and this kind of reveals that Ralph may not have as much control as he should have, because surely he would have addressed the Bruno problem of being too cavalier and exposing that midfield. Ralph's already said that the number 8s play too high up. I see Pogba a little bit playing too high up, but then I see Bruno taking the absolute piss. That has to be addressed. If Man United are going to get top 4, that has to be addressed. And I think we can't rule it out now. We can't rule it out now. We can't, because the other teams in the race are going to slip up. We've seen Southampton beat Spurs. Spurs were tipped to win that game. They slipped up. The original Banter FC Arsenal, they're going to slip up, surely. So it's all about, I think it's still in Man United's hands, even though it's not in their hands. They've got games out of hand. If they up the football, listen to Ralph, even though it's the interim, they can control games and they can get the top 4. But anyway, that's my waffle, and we're just going to see what happens. Click the like, subscribe, and yeah, peace.